Nostalgia. Bong hits. We're back. It's the hits. 105.59. Welcome back, everyone. What's the matter, man? Glad to meet you. We're back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a good show for everyone today. And something I think everyone will enjoy. Let me just get the jams going here. So, we have a lot to discuss. Let's get something going here.
So good. The corner of the beat will send up the beat you can save from the grave. The wiggle and the that he made.
We're back. That's Tarkus from ELP. We're back with another one, folks. Let's get it. The greatest channel of all time. It's the hits. Back with another one. Damn, that shit jams. Tarkus. Beautiful album to check out. Damn, that jams. We're back! Welcome back, peasants. It's the king of the world, Nostalgia. Bong hits. Welcome back. So, today we have a good discussion that I want to dive into of an event that happened. Hold on. I never heard this song. The Sheriff. Yeah. Oh, no, I heard this. Anyway, so let's get down to business, huh? Should we do one more, huh? One more jam? Fuck, we're 5 minutes already into this. Holy shit, boys. Alright, so let's get into it already. We're going to do one quick jam, and then we're gonna dive into it. Don't worry. I actually have a message here. I'm not just gonna play music the entire time. What I want to discuss is a conversation I had with a fella, and go a little bit deeper into why silver is such a valuable asset. Now, hang on for a second. So, what I want to talk about here is, so I was talking to a guy that sells solar. He was trying to, have me put solar on this house, and we had a conversation. But hold on, I'll tell the conversation here in 1 second. Just jam this real quick. Ah! Oh, that jam. Synergy by Glassheart. Oh yeah, we're back. Fuck that jam. Tell me you've never heard a guitar solo like that. Listen. Just one more time. Wait, did I miss it? Yeah, here we go. One more time. Then we're gonna get started, I promise. Oh, the late great Phil Keaggy. We're back. So, anyway, what I want to talk about is, I was talking to a guy about solar being installed, and quite frankly, this is game-changing news for silver stackers, because they're going around door to door, and they're slashing people's electric bills. Like, they're not even having you buy the panels anymore. Like, to where you had to invest, 10, 20 grand to have solar panels put on. Nah, none of that. The solar game has completely changed. And this may be a good career for some of you out there, to start selling solar. And quite frankly, you can always tell when a man has their shit together, when a man's still learning. It's funny because, he had like two younger guys, and they're so excited if they sold one, panel to someone. But it's like, the other guy I talked to, he's like the professional, and you can tell he carries himself kind of how I carry myself, of like calm, and yeah, it's another sale. You know what I mean? Like, but I was talking to the guy, and basically, they're able to offer you solar panels for free. Literally for free. They maintain them. They do everything, all the upkeep. You just let them install them on your house, and it cuts your electric bill 40 to 50%. And that's just, I was talking to him, he said, that's just if I put them on the garage. That one little area would cut my electric bill in half, let alone if I did the whole house. And, we were talking more and more about it, and I said, how much money do you make, if you don't mind me asking? He said, oh God, he said, you don't even want to know. And, he said sometimes he, clears 20K a month. I'm like, that's nuts. So selling solar, man, if you can get in and you're good, you make a lot of money. And, he said, I don't do it for the money though. I said, really? I said, well, what do you do it for? It has to be a reason. And he was a younger guy, had a good head on his shoulders. I mean, he's probably in his, 20s, and very good head on his shoulders for his age. And he said something that kind of stuck true with me, and He said, I just enjoy helping people, man. He said it cuts their bills by 40-50%. He's like, I was able to help, retired couples still stay in their home, and he said that, his parents wanted him to go to college and do all this shit with college, and he said, it just wasn't me. I said, well, what'd you go to college for? And he said, well, I went for some fucking stupid government job of like a planner, an event planner or something. And he said, that just wasn't me, man. And he said, I found something I did that I loved. And I said, that's what keeps you young. And he said, and you're either going to adapt to how the streets operate or you will be destroyed. Natural selection. He said, what is it, natural selection they call it? I said, yeah. That's what it is. Pretty much an adapt or die situation. Now, where I want to get to my point at on this, we were discussing, real estate, solar panels, and had a long discussion about both. And, I said, yeah, it's like that in real estate too. You're either going to adapt to the things that make money and do well, or you're going to struggle. And essentially how it is. So we were talking more about things, and I said, yeah, that's why I load up on a lot of silver. And I said, this really makes me even more bullish than I already am of, like, if people see that solar panels can slash their electric bill by 40-50%, they're going to be on every house, dude. And it's already starting like that. Like, even in a lot of areas that had no solar panels, they now have solar panels. And you're going to see them almost on every single house. And I haven't decided if I'm really for it or not. It is what it is. I still debate if I want to put them on my house or not. But, because they do put off slight EMFs, but they're not as bad as like a smart meter for sure, and not as bad as a cell phone. So the EMFs aren't terrible for them, but the thing is, when you stack your Wi-Fi, your solar panels, your smart meters, you stack all these EMF emitting things together, and that is when you realize, like, there's a lot of EMFs flowing through these neighborhoods when they're at full capacity with smart meters on every home. And it's rather terrifying. You stack a Wi-Fi in every home. Homes are real close together. I mean, yeah, it's generally scary. But anyway, but why silver is going to be extremely important for this. Another industry that just I see doing nothing but getting bigger. As like it or hate it, AI data centers as well. Another industry I see that's going to just devour silver. But as the infrastructure grows, I think that's going to be a massive problem, as being short silver and copper. And I don't see that getting any better anytime soon. And yeah, we may have some short-term price corrections in silver, but as the long term goes, it's probably going to get rather brutal, because of it being needed for panels, and there's not really a substitute. And we had both discussed this matter, and he said, yeah, I really don't know what other material they would use. You can use copper, but it will corrode. So I don't really see silver ever going out of solar panels. I don't see anything really replacing it anytime soon, or ever for that matter, really. Like, when you go over all the materials that exist in the world, all the metals that you could use, just silver is that one unique metal that doesn't corrode. That's why I've said it on my last video of how unique silver actually is. That it's not just a metal, like, it's not just a currency. It really is a unique metal that can conduct electricity, and it doesn't corrode. And that dual combination makes it a very strategic metal that people will want. And eventually, when people realize that the cash is literally fake, it's literally worthless, paper, just print it out, in mass, they're going to run to silver, man. I mean, I really don't know why anyone wouldn't right now anyway. Because at least there's value in the ounces of silver you hold. The ounces of paper money you hold, there is no real value. It is just perceived value. And there's a big difference between perceived value and real value. And I don't really know if I have a great example for this that I want to put off the top of my head, but perceived value, for example, is like real estate in California where a home's $1 million. Where an average 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom home's $1 million. That's perceived value, because it's a great place to live. Everyone wants to go to California. To where real estate in northern Pennsylvania is real value. $200K for a house, cool. That perceived value is still value, but it can change very rapidly. Of let's say California gets even more expensive and no one can afford to live there, so everyone just kind of wants to leave. Then all of a sudden, or something terrible happens in California. Let's just say half of it goes underwater or something, and there's I don't know, something crazy that happens. Then the homes, that perceived value of $1 million home can go down to $100K again. You know what I mean? Back down to reality. So, in my opinion, paper money is perceived value, while silver is real value. I mean, same with gold. I guess you could argue it's real value, but and that's why I think now. I mean, silver's at $68 an ounce right now as we speak. Very great time to get in if you haven't already, and to be patient, go through the ups and downs. Don't let the market shake you out, and it's definitely better than holding paper. I cannot stress that enough, because it really is the Fed's job to just keep the people believing in paper money. That is essentially their entire job, is literally just to keep people believing the paper money scam. And it's if you just completely ignored it, you'd be golden. Anyway, that's everything I really want to talk about. I don't want to go too far off the rails in this video, but I really want to get that point across of, adapt or die, essentially, and that's kind of the motto. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. We're out.